Hello and welcome to the Subs Bench podcast. We are back for episode 3 and my name is Adam and I am with Richard.
Hello.
And I'm with Rob.
Hello.
And this is a Premier League podcast. We have been following the Premier League for all 24 years that it's been happening. We've been there from the start.
Since the beginning, quite a few years ago. Oh God, so many goals.
Back in the days when, God, who was in the Premier League for the first years?
Swindon,
Swindon Town, yeah.
Norwich.
Yeah.
They're still there.
No, they went down.
They're down.
No, that would have been the Norwich team that beat Bayern, and they were the only team to win in Germany and Europe for ever until the last few
Norwich
years.
had a crazy finish that year, didn't they?
Yeah.
Can't see that happening again.
What's the Welsh guy that played for them? Was that Carl Robinson then? Was it Carl Robinson played for them in the late 2000s? Who was the Welsh guy that played for... Was it Ewan Robert? No, not Ewan.
Ewan Robertson.
Ewan Roberts played... There we go.
Yeah, not back then. It was 10 years ago, not back in...
Carl Robinson played for them 10 years ago.
Late 90s, early noughties, Ewan Robertson and Carl Robinson.
Carl Robinson played for them. I thought he played in 92, 93, yeah? But I'm like... I thought then someone from that Welsh team that didn't go to USA 94 played for Norwich then, and I couldn't think who it is.
Who did Barry Horn play for?
Everton.
Did he?
Yeah.
Captain.
Yeah. Anyway,
yeah.
We are a current Premier League podcast. We're not...
we want to be.
Yeah, we're not going to cover 92, 93. So we will just jump right into it, and we'll start with Friday's action. Friday Night Football was back.
Didn't mind a bit of Friday Night Football.
I like it.
The Sky coverage was weird. Did you watch the Sky coverage of it? Rob, it was like TFI football. It was kind of we're in shirts, but it's unbuttoned top collar. It's like, I've just left the office, I'm going for a pint with a couple of guys. They also had people presenting from a pub as well, so they're just this weird relaxed kind of atmosphere. They did lots of interview bits and a lot of hey, casual thing. I got Lisa, what's her name from no, not Lisa Riley, something Riley, the one from Countdown. She's the big
Rachel Riley.
Rachel Riley from Countdown. She's a big Man United fan. She's presented with it.
Are there people eating Nobby's nuts?
Should have been, yeah.
Bags of McCoys.
Do you know what? I think they then, there was definitely a big pub bit where it was kind of we're here in the pub talking to people and the proper pints going, "Hey, football!" It's like, you're in Manchester, why are you talking like that?
What are these Arsenal fans doing here?
It's the same way it's all football chants sound like Londoners. It's just how it is. It's the same when you go to got a bit of Welsh rugby games and they all sound English then when they start chanting. It's like, Wales, Wales. No one's going Wales. Wales.
It's 2 syllables in
Wales. But they don't even sound like they're going Wales. Wales.
You've always got
Wales.
one syllable.
Wales.
Same as the English fans at the football game. England, la la la.
England, la la la. Anyway,
the fans who were chanting were the
United
fans. United fans, because Zlatan Ibrahimovic scores 2 on his home debut for Man United.
He's arrived. He's officially arrived now, isn't he?
Yes, he has. But a big arrival for me with Pogba.
It was
playing.
the Pogba show.
Oh, it was. It was all about Pogba, and Southampton were there too. But yeah, I've got to be honest. I really enjoyed it. Oh my word! It's United have got a bit of swagger about them now. A bit of arrogance has been missing for a couple of years.
Yeah.
Since probably, I would say the last time we really had it was when Ronaldo was there, just having a player who's put it all on me. I want to be the centre of attention, and I'll drag everyone to glory with me.
Yeah,
and that's what Pogba is. He's the guy who wants to go. Put it all on my back. I'll drag us all there, and I'll look damn good doing it.
When you said there's a player who wants it all on his back and wants to take the,
he wants to take it all.
I thought you were talking about Zlatan.
Oh well,
because you've got 2 guys there.
Yeah, and they seem to be best friends now.
All of a sudden.
Yeah,
well, that's convenient.
That's the thing. Egos to come together. They'll either go boom or they'll go,
Yeah.
Hey there, have I told you about my best friend? Just kind of skipping around. But performance-wise, Pogba running from deep, running hard, running strong.
Box to box.
The guy's not even fully fit yet. He walked off a beach and did that. So yeah, that was brilliant to see. Bahi as well in defence kept doing well.
First clean sheet.
First clean sheet. Again, they weren't troubled too much with it. It was interesting because Bayer to deal with the pace of Redmond and Shane Long once or twice, and I thought he did quite well into it. There was a couple of times we were like, oh, hold on, has he got... No, he's okay, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But, yeah, Valencia looked good, Mata looked good, yeah. So it looked like a United team of old because it looked for the first time that a team turned up at Old Trafford and looked like they'd lost before they'd walked on there.
Well, the thing for me, I think when we'll have the true test, is that obviously they've won their first 2 games and they've won the Community Shield, but the big test will be when they lose and how they respond to that.
Yeah.
Because obviously it's Mourinho, new team, new players. When this team eventually loses, whether it's next week or in 10 weeks, that'll be when we know how good this team is.
Let's hope it's
a long
further
time.
rather than later.
Yes. But going into sort of fantasy football territory, you got a Wayne Rooney assist. No goal this week, but you got an assist.
Yeah. Well, I had Zlatan as captain, so I was set.
Oh, you're happy, yeah. And Luke Shaw.
And I had Luke Shaw as well.
Yeah.
I brought Pogba in as well, and he did what he did. But yeah, Luke Shaw going forward doing exactly what I thought from a fantasy standpoint, which is same as we were talking about Valencia.
Get forward.
Going to be bombing up the wings, and they're going to be throwing in crosses and just getting themselves involved.
One player I will ask you about, because I noticed he came on in the match and I forgot he existed.
Oh.
Ander Herrera?
Yeah, he still plays a bit now and again, yeah.
Who is he? What is he? Why?
I
don't remember him doing anything, like, ever.
Oh, no, he's been there.
He scored a couple of goals early last season.
Yeah, I mean...
And he doesn't... I can't remember him playing for United in the last 6 months.
No, he's a good player to have. He's a squad player, and he'll come in and he'll do a good shift, but...
Yeah, but they paid like 20-odd million for him, didn't they?
That's just a going price for an average player now.
Average player.
We haven't talked about... Well, we haven't got into the Arsenal bashing yet, but we've got to talk about how much West Brom are asking for Johnny Evans, if I'm getting that right, but we'll come to that
later. Come to that later. But to finish, we'll have a quick word with the opposition, Southampton. They won't be too worried.
No,
but they do look like they're missing something. You know, it looks like they've lost Pella, so they've lost 10 goals right there.
I don't think you can judge Southampton based on that performance.
No.
Like Rich said, United have got something about them this season.
Oh, yeah.
You said about having a marquee player who wants it. I think they got about 5 or 6 of those players who really want it this year. And they'll feed off each other as well.
True.
So I wouldn't judge Southampton on that performance.
No, but we wouldn't judge them on the performance, but do we think they need to make a few more signings before the window's up?
Well, who went off injured? Someone went off injured early on with it. It wasn't Tadic, was it? No, it was Origi. That was not Origi. Oh my word! The guy who came from Chelsea, Romelu. Oriol. Thank you, Oriol.
Yes, Oreo cookie. Yes.
He went down injured and he had to be subbed from there then. So yeah, they've lost so much from that midfield. You're not going to replace it in the same way. So
it's still a good team, but for me, I think they haven't replaced Pella, and I think Shane Long's a good player, but I don't think he's a 20-goal-a-season striker.
Well, there's Charlie Austin there, but getting the man fitting on a pitch seems to be the trouble.
That won't happen. But anyway, let's move on. That was Friday night, and we go straight into Saturday, and the lunchtime kickoff was Stoke against Man City. And this was a bit of a shocker for me. I know it's Pep and it's City, but 4-1 away to Stoke. Fair play to him. That's a cracking result.
Yeah, I think I turned around and said 1-1. I was thinking, I thought it'd be a much closer game, but...
well, Stoke have beaten them there at the Britannia the last couple of years. So.
A couple of dodgy penalty decisions.
Yeah.
Well, it's the fact that we're giving away they've always said about consistency, and if they've decided now that any kind of shirt pulling and any kind of tugging in the box is a penalty from corners, then they were consistent because both teams got really soft penalties. Should Stoke have had another penalty on top of it, where literally they got kicked over in the box? Problem is, it's the old thing: the ref can't give what he can't see. If you notice from where the referee was standing, there was a couple of bodies of players, and there was literally a Man City defender stood in front of them both, kind of like blocking off where the contact was. So I'll give him that for free. Yeah. But
so it's an excellent result. You know, any sort of picking up 3 points at the Britannia is impressive for any team. 4 goals. Aguero on fire again.
Was it 19 goals in 19 Premier League games? Something ridiculous.
He's on fire.
Yeah. He's just. But he's perpetually on fire at this point. He's just kind of... if you could harness his energy he could self-sustain the earth kind of thing. You know, it would be like he's a completely...
He's the new solar power.
Yeah, he's a completely green source of energy. He just produces his own... You know, he's constantly on fire. It's you've got to way to harness his footballing ability into a way because you basically save the planet.
Yes. The question is...
Save the world.
Because obviously Man City very impressive, but should Stoke fans be a bit concerned or not?
It's the usual thing with Stoke, isn't it? They haven't got a man up front to bang in the goals.
Yeah, that's true.
They've got a lot of players who look good and can look good, but they haven't got that one man in the up top to do it all. But I will say for one thing for Stoke, those two of the goals came right near the end of the game where it looked like they were pushing for a winner because you're not going to hit Stoke on a counter-attack when you're in the clear from 30 to 40 yards out against Stoke. That's not their usual game. You know, it was how it was because they were just trying to chase down the game. Yeah.
So there we go. And next up we've got West Brom against Everton, and this week Pulis didn't do Pulis because he didn't get his clean sheet that he loves so much in his fancy tracksuit and white trainers. And his cap.
I'm trying to find him from it.
You leave his cap alone. I would have taken Pulis as Newcastle coach.
Do you know what? I have no idea what hairstyle he's got. For all I know, he could have an afro. I've never seen him without a cap.
He's bald.
Is he?
No, I don't know.
See, nobody knows. What's under that cap?
How bald? Bald. Bald.
There's a feature for next week. What's under Tony Pulis' hat?
Welcome to our new segment. Tony's cap.
We're going to jingle for next week.
It's a beautiful credenza.
Yeah. So, Pulis didn't do Pulis, as we expected. It was 2-1 Everton. Very good result for them.
Yeah.
And, he got Ross Barkley with a little bit of consistency because he had a goal last week and an assist this week.
Everton's shirt's garbage, though.
The shirt?
The yellow away shirt they were wearing is awful.
A bit garish.
Garish. Garish. Which would you say, Rob?
Garish.
Thank you. I win.
Garnish?
It's a bit garnish, yes.
Side
you know
salad.
What? It is a bit side salad, you're right, yeah.
Anything else to say on that game?
Gareth Barry scoring.
Yeah, that's an anomaly.
I managed to, in my notes, I have a joke prepared.
I'm excited.
This is off the cuff.
Gareth Barry is so old, he should be interviewed by Carl Reiner. That's a reference no one's going to get.
I always find the best jokes are the ones that need explaining. Now, Richard.
No, your homework is to tell me what that joke means.
Surely, to go with the existing crowd, you should have said Jimmy Hill.
No.
Oh, okay.
Carl Reiner's not a football guy.
I know. Jimmy Hill is.
Alright, no. But then that doesn't work for my joke.
Okay.
My excellent joke.
Okay, fair enough. Something I did notice.
Interviewed by Carl Reiner. Just try it again. That's what people.
I'll put some audience applause in there. It's fine. We'll get there.
We've got a church bell ringing in the background.
The other thing I noticed in this game is that your goalkeeper Stecklenburg had another very good game.
Yeah.
Pulled off a couple of excellent saves, and yet Joe Hart continues to be linked with Everton.
But I think the only reason he's been linked with Everton, it's not because Everton have said they need a goalkeeper, it's because people have gone, well, what club can he go to? Everton. People have just decided in their heads, well, he's got to go to Everton, it's the only club that would have him.
Yeah, but what Everton have Stecklenburg, who's had 2 really good games, and they've got Robles as second choice. They don't need him.
Are there any English teams? Let's talk about Joe Hart.
Yeah.
Are there any English teams who would need him?
Well, we discussed this on last week, so we both
Definitely.
said Liverpool.
Yeah,
Liverpool is the
Mignolet
most
up
obvious
there.
answer because they've got Mignolet, who is awful.
Yeah.
And Alex Manninger backing him up.
Yeah.
I suppose a lot of teams can't afford him.
No,
No, but Liverpool.
Well,
Yeah,
I suppose any team could afford him. I mean, Burnley could have the money to buy Lionel Messi.
Right, yeah.
Whether they would ever actually spend that money on them is another thing because
Can't
you've got to
see
put
it
in the
happening.
budget for it as well. Then, but yeah, we went through it. Arsenal won't have him. Man United, Man City won't have him. Chelsea won't have him.
But Liverpool should.
Liverpool
Liverpool
should,
is
but
the
won't.
obvious answer.
Spurs won't because they've got the French captain.
Yeah.
So that's where you suddenly go, well, Everton then.
Or
Because even
Liverpool.
you look at something like, oh, okay, so Southampton, no, they got Fraser Forster.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yes, so it was a good performance from Stecklenburg, and also Yannick Bolasie came off the bench, set up 2 sitters for Ross Barkley and Lukaku, and they both missed them. So he had a very good debut. It wasn't his fault, but he should have had 2 assists.
Yeah, but those 2 will have good games in 3 weeks' time.
Oh yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Oh my God, they scored 4 goals each. This is it. Look how great this Everton team's. Nothing for a month.
Also, my final note on this match is that Balassi has played in both the opening games of the Premier League. One for Palace, one for Everton. Both against West Brom.
So who's he got to sign for next week to be able to keep playing West Brom? Let's have a look here. You'd have to sign for Middlesbrough by Sunday.
There we go. Put money on it.
All right.
Jim White will announce it.
Yeah.
So there we go. That was them. And now next up, we've got Watford against Chelsea, where it finished 2-1 to Chelsea.
Watford took the lead in this one, I believe.
Yes.
Oh, fair play.
Yes. But Chelsea came back, and it was a late goal from Michy Batshuayi. Love saying that name. I don't know why.
Really?
Michy Batshuayi. Yeah, sounds a bit funny. But there we go. So, good result for Chelsea. And the thing is that everybody's talking about the Manchester clubs who've won the opening 2 games. Nobody's talking about Chelsea, who have also won their opening 2 games.
I think it's the way they've won it is that they haven't looked convincing. They've just kind of got these late winners. I mean,
same point.
But for it to go 1-1 and be in like the late 80th odd minute, the goal that they conceded, which was a breakaway from a corner by Chelsea, and suddenly their guys like clean through. You're like, how have you allowed that to happen in the last minute when you've got a point on the line? Also, Aurelio Gomez doing what Aurelio Gomez does. We were only talking last week about the fact he hasn't done anything like that.
He is season ticket value for money.
Yeah.
He's the most entertaining keeper in the league. He's brilliant.
Tell you what I didn't like seeing on the clips. Cesc Fabregas on the bench, because that's just where he lives now. Having his feet up on the seat in front of him, on the headrest of the seat in front of him.
I didn't see that.
Oh, I didn't like that at all.
Was someone sitting in the seat?
Someone sitting in the seat?
Was it Conte?
Well rude. I know, well rude. Can you imagine if that happened in the cinema? No.
So his feet were by
Well, the
somebody's
guy was
face.
kind of leaned forward doing the football thing of, you know, arms resting on the knees, wide stance, balls flopping down between it, kind of going, ooh, this is tense. And then, Fabregas is there, feet up all over the place, kind of thing of like, hey, whatever.
So he's not enjoying life on the bench then.
Well, he seemed to be loving it, the way he was looking at it.
On that money.
Yeah, so, and it's Chelsea, you've got obviously 2 big money strikers, Costa and Batshuayi, and they're both scoring. So the Conte will be happy with his strike force.
I think the reason they're under the radar is just that United and City have got these emphatic wins, these big wins under their belts, and Chelsea are just like little wallflowers at the moment.
They've had 2-1 wins, so they're scraping results, but same points. So Chelsea, Conte going in the right direction. There we go. And Watford, they won't be too concerned just yet. They had a point last week.
No. Early days, we're 2 games in, no one's getting sacked.
No
one's going down.
Well,
apart from Sunderland, if you listen to David Moyes.
Yeah.
And next up, it is Spurs against Palace. And you know something's wrong when you're relying on Victor Wanyama to score your winning goal.
Right, tell you what, I had a problem the minute I saw it, and it's been picked up as well. I'm assuming Harry Redknapp must have been listening to my mind when I was thinking of this. Kane sitting in the pocket behind the striker. Just a waste. I mean, why would you want someone who's had his scoring form over the last 2 years further away from goal? It's the Wayne Rooney effect. It's like, oh, he'll only get better the further near the defender we put him. It's like, so I don't know why you would sacrifice a number 9 like that to move him to 10 to put Janssen in at 9.
I'm assuming it's because it's the football manager effect. When you spend 20+ million on a new striker,
You've got to play him.
You want to play him. You've got to fit him in there. You've got to justify buying him.
Yeah, but if they were going to buy someone to have Kane partner with in a 9-10, why not spend 20 million on a 10?
Yeah.
True. And also, worth pointing out, Janssen, crap.
Oh, yeah.
Missed a couple of sitters.
I was saying here, it's like he had a one-on-one.
Yeah, and he put it about 10 foot wide.
10 feet wide is exactly what I put on my notes.
And
which I said was classic Dutch finishing. You throw Alfonso Alaves kind of finishing.
Yeah.
It's one extreme or the other one, but yeah.
But that's the thing, I saw the team sheet, and he's like, oh, he's playing them both together, that's cool. But then when I actually saw how he was playing them together, like you say, with Kane in the pocket, I don't understand. I don't understand that at all. Why not? If you're going to play them both together, put them both up front. Play a 4-4-2. Have them both next to each other.
No one can play a 4-4-2 anymore.
Why not?
You're not allowed.
Not allowed.
That's so 10 years ago.
It's loser talk.
Oh my god, it's crazy.
Palace desperately need Benteke to be up and running by the time he walks into that team because
they need him to start scoring instantly.
Yeah, but they also need to put the ball into him quick and often.
Oh yeah.
Because if you don't give Christian Benteke the ball, he'll get bored and go, "I don't want to play anymore."
Yeah.
But if you can just constantly just get stuff into him and make him part of the game. Yeah, he'll suddenly get his back up a bit and he'll be like, oh yeah, here we go, check out who I am.
Well, do you know
bollocks swinging in.
Even if they don't play to Benteke's strengths, and even if he isn't at his best, it's still better than having Connor Wickham up front.
Yeah.
So I think Palace will be happy, but they need a point on the board now. They've had a really insufficient start.
Oh yeah.
Your man Pardew.
Here's a question for you. Whatever happened to Johan Kabay?
He's still playing,
He's still
isn't
there,
he?
Yeah, he doesn't play for them. He sits on the
I'm
bench.
sure he's playing. I'm sure
He's on the bench. He'd bring one now and again, but considering what it was when he came back and how good it was, like, man, this is an unbelievable signing for Palace.
Yeah.
He's just a signing for him.
I think the perfect way to sum it up is to say that he's been Pardewed. I think that's absolutely the best way to sum it up. So there we go, and next up we've got Swansea against Hull.
Oh,
so, here's the big question. Are Hull the new Premier League champions? Are they the new Leicester?
Name on the trophy.
So rewind 3 weeks ago when we were doing our predictions of who's going down.
We all said Hull.
We all said Hull.
Yeah, quite
no
aggressively.
manager. The board want to sell the club.
No players.
No players.
Yeah.
2 games in.
2 wins.
2 wins.
Yeah.
Here's the problem you're getting now is that you get any pundit turning around going, oh, well, Hull have 2 wins, make my Phelan permanent manager. It's like, yeah, because that's worked so well in the past for other people. Oh, you got a couple of results to, alright, just give him the job. Yeah, it worked well with, I don't know, Sunderland's last 8 managers.
Yep.
Give Dick Advocat the job. Give Paolo Di Canio the job.
Yeah.
Give Roberto Di Matteo, give Avram Grant the job. Give all these people jobs.
Yeah.
Never works.
Yeah.
So, Mike Phelan's a good coach. Don't give him that manager's job.
Well, you can't say he hasn't deserved the
Because he got
chance
2
to have it.
games.
Yeah, 2 games, 2 wins.
Give me, I tell you what, talk to me in a month.
He's beaten the champions
Talk
and he's
to me-
beaten Swansea
talk
away.
to me 6 games in, and we'll see about it then. Like, it might very well be the case he'll have to become manager because there's no one there. But don't tell me after 2 games he's got to be manager. No way.
I'm not saying he's got to be manager, but I think he's earned the chance to take it.
Nah.
I don't see any other option,
Nah.
personally. But as far as, obviously Hull, delighted. Abel Hernandez, 2-2. But, from Swan's point of view...
It's exact results like this why I was worried about Swansea.
Yeah. These are the sort of games they should be getting 3 points at, especially at home.
Yeah, you don't
to
lose
a team
these.
like Hull.
Yeah.
I mean, they done well first game of the season to get that win away, but they dominated the first half.
Massive possession.
Massive possession. Typical Swans, no ball in the back of the net, and that guy they signed up front misfiring as well.
Well, they got 2 new strikers.
Lorente, yeah.
Lorente,
They got Lorente and Baston, and nobody's scoring. And this is the big thing with the Swans, because they sold Ayew, they loaned out Gomez. They need one of these guys to start scoring, or they are going to be in trouble.
I mean, Gomez was always going in this season, wasn't he? You could see it a mile off, but they spent big money on these 2 players, and I know it's early days. It is early days. But Ashley Williams out of the side, pretty much the heart of the team. They lost their captain.
Yeah.
Same as what we said 3 weeks ago, Swans are going to struggle.
They need these guys to start scoring. But somebody who did start scoring, even though we said last week that they must bring in strikers,
They still do.
both of their strikers scored, and Burnley beat Liverpool 2-0.
Which I called.
Yes.
Yes, I did. I said in my example, Rob, of Liverpool, I said, they'll go to places like the Etihad and the Emirates and they'll win, but they'll lose to Watford at home, or they'll go to Turf Moor and lose to Burnley. And sure enough, they lost to Burnley, and they look god awful doing it.
And it was my fault because I jinxed them, because I'm pretty sure I said, do you know what? I don't think Liverpool will, I think they'll score in every game for the remainder of the season. They looked so good at Arsenal. Nobody will keep a clean sheet against them. Bang, Burnley, clean sheet.
Same as Liverpool like 10 years ago. They just used to turn up when Chelsea came.
Yeah.
They had a cracking game against Chelsea.
Yeah.
Average the rest of it.
Yeah. But, as I said, we were discussing Burnley's lack of a goal threat. Awesome goal from Sam Vokes on the turn.
It
lashed it in.
Well, I've got to do my chant then. It must be Vokes, Sam Vokes. Nothing more. Anyway.
So Big Sam had the got the goal, and Andre Gray with a nice finish as well. So
And we move on.
So
points from the game myself. That Liverpool away shirt is god awful.
Garish, I'd call it.
It's a
I'd call it garnish.
It's a luminous green or yellow. Which one is it?
Bit of both.
With a grey like V over the chest. If it was the other way round and it was grey with a bit of a luminous trim, they might be able to get away with it. But the other way, it just looks stupid. Sturridge has got a high top fade now. I noticed. Like Kid in Play.
Very Will Smith.
Yeah, well,
the
early
90s.
Will Smith.
Yeah.
Fresh Prince Will Smith. Yeah. And now my big question from it, because I got a couple of things about possession for possession's sakes, and the fact that
80% possession.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And do you know what? They've conceded 5 goals in 2 games. Liverpool now. Why do top managers, and I put that in quotation marks, Rob. Top managers.
We've got to make this come across on audio as well.
Yeah.
Top managers.
Top managers. We all did it. So you might have heard the slight slapping of fingers.
The whip
on
of fingers. There
yeah.
You can hear that.
Why do top managers have an obsession with defenders having so much of the ball? So someone like Klopp, it's all about playing from the back, the defenders having the ball and everything like that. Surely you want the defenders to get the ball into the midfield as quickly as possible, because it's you midfielders are the ones who are the passers of the balls, the creators of the play. Why do you want it like, oh God, I need a goalkeeper who can pass back and forth to my left back for 5 minutes because possession?
It feels like you're having a go at Pep here as well.
A lot of
Brendan
top
Rodgers.
managers. Brendan. You know, they showed a lot of heart. You know, a tremendous character.
A lot of character.
But am I wrong on this one? I mean, how do you guys feel about possession football?
So a few things to think about. If the other team haven't got the ball, they can't score.
Well, I don't know. Burnley scored 2.
Well, it's...
I'm quite a big fan of playing from the back, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
It leaves you forward players enough time and chances to get into spaces, create chances, and catch the opposition on the back foot a lot of the time.
But it's what you do with it. Like, when a lot of people, when they think of possession football, keep the ball football, everybody thinks of the Simpsons clip.
Yes.
Where it's just back, and then the chance. But that's not doing it. There is a way of doing it effectively. And the best example I've seen of it that immediately comes to mind is when the Swans first came up. And everybody in the Premier League was like, what the hell is this? What's this football? Knocking it around, playing it fast, playing it quick. And that's a really good example of it. And Pep, we talked about this last week, he's doing it in a really weird way, where he's bringing in his wing-backs
into the
and
centre
getting them to play midfield.
But alright then.
There's good ways of doing it and there's bad ways of doing it.
Is Klopp's Liverpool doing it in a bad way?
Well,
Evidently.
they got 80% possession, so
2-0.
technically it's working.
But did you see how much they were just getting hassled at the back?
Yeah,
though? It's because they're not. It's not like they're playing it that way, drawing attackers in and drawing them up, and then being able to kind of pass around them or over them to get into the midfield, so then they can move that way. Yeah. They're just going dinky dinky dink, a dinky dinky dink, a
And then
dinky
getting
dinky
caught in
dink.
possession.
Yeah, and it's like oh.
The thing with Liverpool, and I don't know why Klopp hasn't figured this out, but you can have all the Coutinhos and the Wijnaldums and the Sturridges, you can have all of them, but when you've got Mignolet and Moreno and Lovren in your team, you're going to concede goals. Yeah. So why he didn't spend a fortune on a new defence and a new keeper, I do not know.
That was another point I put down. Man United got Bahe, City got Stones, Liverpool got no one.
That's it.
There we are.
Moreno is playing, Mignolet's in goals, and Lovren can be good, so even if you just let him off, you've still got Moreno and you've still got Mignolet. There's your problem.
Right. Which big team we're going to bash next?
We'll give a little bit of a little bit of praise to Burnley for the win. Good result.
Well, this was, I know I had a go at showed a lot of heart and a lot of character and things like that. But at least they did in a way where they took their opportunities, and fair play, Sam Vokes turned around and did something.
Brilliant goal.
Good.
Yeah.
And if it turns out that he can be that striker they need, fair play to them. I still don't know whether he could be someone who's going to get 15 goals in a Premier League season.
maybe him and Gray have got 15 between them.
That's not. They need 15 each, though, if they want to stay in this league.
Well,
but also Defoe, Stefan Defoe. He used to be a big football manager. But back in the day, he was a wonder kid, or must have, wasn't he?
Yeah, a young Belgian player.
And I tell you what,
looks alright.
He did all right in that game. No, bear in mind, they gave him a lot of time and space to do it.
Yeah.
Especially for the second goal.
Yeah.
Just kind of like let him walk on. It's like, let him come closer. Just lull him into the trap. Lull him in. Here we go. Pincers are coming in. Here we go. Oh, they scored. Oh, no. Oh.
Yes, so a very good result for Burnley and a good performance by Stephen Defoe on his debut. Next up, we have the 0-0 of the weekend. Yeah. Leicester-Arsenal.
All right.
The game that nobody expected to be a 0-0.
All right, so we can do our Arsenal bashing. Okay, right.
Go for it.
I say Arsenal bashing. I just... Do you know what I think it gets me with them? And I'm going to bit. I will bring it back to more centralised themes.
Is it the fact that they don't want to spend any money?
It's the fact that they've got so many... They've got fans there that are so passionate about that club. They're waiting to be energised. They're almost there, like, with their the tips of their toes on the starting line, waiting for the gun, going, just energise us. We are ready to run through walls for this club. Give us something and we will give you it tenfold back. We're just desperate. Just give us something and we'll give you everything. And they won't give them nothing. And it's like, no. And you're kind of like, oh man, you can see why they get frustrated, and you can see why they look so silly on that Arsenal fan TV all the time. Because they're just like, they're on the edge of it. They're like, just give it, come on, I'm ready to go. Here we go. No, it's consistent blue balls.
Yes.
The other thing I wanted to say then is, we were talking briefly before we started about, and I think I mentioned it here, sign-ins. Looking at defenders. Now, I hinted before, apparently the money that West Brom are asking for Johnny Evans. And I got that right. I said 25 million. Yeah. That's ridiculous for starters. I think we sold him. Yeah, Man United sold him to West Brom for 8.
7 or 8, I think it was, yeah.
And he hasn't fucking matured in value to that degree.
That's modern football, though.
And when you're saying, what, 30 will do it for Mustafi?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I know which one I'd rather have.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Yeah, but to be fair, Arsenal, they got the clean sheet, they'll be happy with that. But should they have got the clean sheet? Because there was 2 penalty shouts in there. Drinkwater went down, Musa went down, and they both look like penalties to me.
I'll take a word for it. I was so bored by the game. I was watching the highlights of it, but the problem is I was watching Match of the Day on the record late night on Saturday, and I was also going back and forth between the Brazil-Germany Olympic final.
Ah, yes.
So then the penalties happened, and that was so exciting. I kind of like came back to it, and it's like, we've got a really good 0-0 for you coming up. And it's like, oh God, this is awful.
Yeah, well, they looked like penalties, so maybe Leicester might feel a little bit aggrieved and probably should have won the game. But I think both teams might be happier to take the point at the end of the day.
Yeah. I mean, it goes without saying they both lost week 1.
Yes.
So obviously a draw is better than
nothing. Step in the right direction.
Yes.
Clean sheets. Yes.
I'm glad to see Leicester making some positive moves. Drawing against Arsenal is no mean feat.
Well, they lost
really.
last year.
Twice to
Arsenal, so it's 1 point over last year.
Things can only get better.
Indeed.
And, I think that hopefully that first weekend will be the kick up the arse they needed to really get started in their season.
Yeah. And then the last question I'll finish with before we move on to Sunday is Arsene Wenger going to spend any money before the window shuts?
No.
Is he?
He should.
They will get massive backlash if he doesn't bring in at least one more player.
But the same players we're always going to bring in. So you're saying that they'll bring in the defender that they're crying out for?
Well, they need a striker as well.
Who will they bring in?
They started yet again with Alexis Sanchez up front, which clearly doesn't work.
Yeah, but the only reason they're doing that is because apparently Arsenal's French players are so tired that they couldn't possibly play football.
But I think
that's coming from their own mouths.
I think Koscielny started.
Right. But he didn't play in the Liverpool game because he turned around and said, I'm not ready for this one, boss.
Right.
But yeah, Giroud was sat in the bed. Ozil, nowhere near it.
Crazy.
I got a Leicester question. Has Vardy peaked?
What, last year?
Has Jamie Vardy peaked? Is it only the downward slide? He peaked last year, and so his peak was end of the 2014-15 season. And then the 2015-16 season up until the last handful of games. And then looking at his looking at his summer, look at how he is now. Has he peaked? Because he had a number of chances in that first game. He had a couple of chances in this Arsenal game, and he did not take them. Has he peaked?
I think it's too early to say that. I think he's still the same player he was last season. He might be a little bit out of form, but I think it's one of those things where you've got to wait until like maybe January before you decide what type of form he's in.
January?
You've got to give him a chance.
No, you can't give him half a season to decide is he in form or not. He'll have to the second week in September.
From what I saw against Arsenal, he's still making the runs. You know, he got the pace. He didn't score last week, but you know,
it's all about putting onions in the potato basket.
True.
It is early days.
Yeah, I don't think you can write him.
But I don't think you can leave until January to decide whether he's going.
No, what I meant was we'll see how many goals he's got by January. If he's if he's only on like 1 or 2, then we know.
I'm very wary that he's having opportunities and not scoring them.
But again, only 2 games in. I wouldn't write him off just yet. And now we'll move on to Sunday. There was 2 fixtures. The last 2 fixtures we'll talk about. The first one, which happened to have a fantastic goal in it, was Sunderland 1, Middlesbrough 2, and Christian Stuani, who nobody knew who he was before this match.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Watched bits of it. It wasn't one of those games that kind of like, because is it a real derby? Do they even consider it a real derby?
Yeah, they do. They've even got a name for it. If I can just remember the rivers involved.
The
Tyne Weir. No,
Tyne Weir derby.
It's not Tyne.
No, it's not Tyne. That's Newcastle.
Weir Tees or Tees Weir.
Tees Weir derby.
Yes. Tees.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, so it was 2 from Stuani, and this is a guy I didn't really know much about him, to be honest, but they signed him last year for $2 million. He got 11 goals from midfield in the Championship last year. So, excellent. 2 really good goals, 2 assists for Negredo, who now has 1 goal, 2 assists in 2 games.
Have you still got him in your team?
Do you know what? I bigged him up and I said, this guy's got to be in your team. I didn't put him in my fucking team.
You don't want to talk about one of the players in my team because he'll be coming up in the next game, I tell you. But one thing I want to know, Guzan came in for Valdez because he had a slight knock. Error for that goal.
Error for the goal, but also made a great save. It was a Aurelio Gomez performance.
The yin and the yang. Yes. He truly was the summer to our winter.
Yes. Yeah, no, that was, again, as a keeper myself, those are horrible goals to concede because they're like, you should do much better than that.
Do you know what he could have done? Anything but what he did.
It's happened to me. I know what type of goal is to concede, and it's horrible, but Premier League standard, you've got to do better than that. Got to do better.
I've never had conceded a goal like that, Rob.
I'm not a keeper.
So you've never conceded a goal like that?
That's true then, yes.
There we go. I am not a keeper either, but I'm focusing on the fact that I've never conceded a goal like that.
I've never conceded a goal like that either, Rich.
I thank you, Rob.
Well, I was going to say...
so Sunderland going down, by the way.
I was going to say, should the Sunderland fans be concerned? And it turns out they should be, because David Moyes is.
To be fair, it's not like he's turned around and walked into like Chelsea and gone, oh yeah, we're in a relegation. So looking at a team that has constantly been in a relegation battle for the past 4-5 seasons, literally saving it with a couple of games to go.
Yeah.
So is it just like, how dare you suggest something that's happened
something
often?
That's obvious.
But as a fan, you've got to be a bit cheesed off because you've got a new high-profile coach.
Yeah.
Moyes is a high-profile coach come in.
Yeah.
Thinking, right, this is our year. We're going to turn this round this year. All of a sudden, no, we're relegation candidates again. Cheers, boss.
Yeah.
For writing us off.
Thanks for inspiring us.
Need some players in, mind.
And what does that do for the dressing room? That can't be a very good motivational tactic.
No. Well, the big thing for Sunderland is the fact that they are lacking defenders, and they've got people like Kabul and now Kone who are just saying, get me out of here.
Yeah.
I don't want to be here. And Sunderland are going, okay, off you go.
Bye.
Yeah, we're okay. We've got John O'Shea and Donald Love.
Oh yeah,
we'll be fine.
I thought it was Paddy McNair, who they played in midfield.
Yes. Yeah, maybe that might have something to do with him losing.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, no, if Sunderland need to sign a handful of players before the window shuts, otherwise they're going to be right down there.
Do you see them signing like 3 players on deadline day?
Probably Man United players. But the thing is that Arsenal are going to do what they do every year, which is they have a crap season, they sack Moyes with 10 games to go, some new guy comes in, wins 8 out of 10, and they scrape up and stay up by a point.
Which random manager will they bring in? Let's try and think of a manager.
And literally anyone.
I'm going to go Martin Yol.
No, but it could
they bring in Martin Yol.
It could be somebody like they brought in Paulo Di Canio, who managed to somehow keep them up, and then he turned out to be an awful Premier League manager.
And psycho.
So it honestly doesn't matter who they bring in as their new manager because he will keep them up.
Go on, give me a name.
I don't know.
Gary Monk.
Gary Monk. Oh.
He's under pressure at Leeds.
Oh yeah, no, he won't be at Leeds by the end of the season.
Yeah.
He'll be sacked.
They could literally be top of the championship. It was like, yeah, but the goal difference is a little bit weak in it.
Yeah. Get out of our club. Yep, so there we go. Excellent result for Middlesbrough. And next up, the final game we talk about is West Ham against Bournemouth.
What a boring game that was. Tried watching that.
It wasn't.
Did not work.
It wasn't the same as last year's fixture.
No, not at all.
Very dull.
Though I think I won the bet by going the closest. So I said 2 goals.
We will find that out when we get to the bet section. But what it is worth saying is that Carroll injured again.
Yeah.
Out for 6 weeks.
Unbelievable. I bigged him up for 2 weeks saying, here we are, he's coming to a season, he's looking good, and then sure enough, 10 minutes before kick-off, no, he's out for 6 weeks. So now we're going to get him out of my fantasy team for 1, and also I look like a mug for thinking that this might have been a turning point for him. Payet's injured though as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't think that's a major injury.
Not as badly, no, but it was enough that he wasn't in the game.
Carroll is out, and Ayew is out for 4 months.
Yeah,
apparently.
4 months.
But Swans are laughing their tits off.
Yeah, 20 million. Yeah.
Oh, my tits. Yeah, so West Ham seem to have lost the majority of their goal threat.
Yeah, well, they had Antonio up front, wasn't it? And he got the goal.
Mikel Antonio, well, on the wing, yeah.
Well, they had to put him in the centre, didn't they?
Yeah, in the end, yeah. But
Yeah.
Bournemouth now lost 2 from 2, and this... last week you can say you lost to Man United, fair enough, but this week losing to West Ham and they had chances. There was a point there for Bournemouth if they took their chances.
Yeah.
At least a point.
What did you think of the London Stadium at Queen Elizabeth Park?
I saw there was empty seats there.
There were some there, like up the top, they were specifically cordoned off. I think of the ones that.
No, I saw empty seats actually in amongst.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was surprising.
Apparently, there was a photo of a section where they hadn't put seats in, so people were stood on the concrete steps.
Standing sections back
Yeah,
in the
they were
Premier League.
complaining about bringing back standing sections. And the minute it's like, oh, we haven't got any seats, we go stand there. And suddenly it's like, oh,
outrage!
Ah!
So there we go, a bit of a disappointing game, but West Ham, good win. Bournemouth, squeaky bum.
What, after 2 games?
Yeah, they're down.
down.
The season's over.
I am writing off.
So there we go. But next up, we are now done with the review of the weekend. But next up, we have our segments. And first up, we have our So Many Goals. So many goals. Goal of the week. And for me, I've narrowed it down to 2 choices.
What was your 2 choices?
Christian Stuani, his first goal. Fantastic goal by Stuani. Top corner. Awesome strike. And the second one, we already spoke about it as well. Sam Vokes against Liverpool.
Must be. I'm trying to think of. I liked Everton's. One of Everton's goals. I think it was their first goal where they had the really nice touches. It was like a lot of one-touch football.
Oh, good team goal. Yeah,
nice team goal. I remember writing that one down.
I'm always tempted to give it to a screamer though, and those two.
If I wanted to go for my favourite goal of the weekend, it would be Neymar's penalty in that shootout. Just oh my word, that was proper tense stuff.
Oh yeah, good penalty.
American are going mental. So I will say for sheer monumentalness of the goal, I'm going Neymar's penalty. But for Premier League, do you know what? I'll do you know what? The fact that I literally wrote it down and said that it was a nice goal, I'll give it to Everton's team goal against West Brom.
Okay, there we go. I would say give it to Stuani because he announced himself with the goal. Nobody knew who he was. Bang. Fantastic finish. So, there we go. Rob hasn't managed to keep up with the action, so you can just agree with one of us.
I agree with all of your statements.
There we go. Marvellous. And now next up we go on to our top comment of the week, and this week I'm giving it to the True Geordie.
Okay.
Because he responded to us on Twitter. We
talked to us. So
he did, yeah. We asked him for a bit of advice for our podcast. And he said, never done a podcast, so no, lol. But when I start mine, I will let you know. Good luck. So there we go. We've got an endorsement of the man himself. Fantastic. And now we will look at next week's fixtures. What have we got coming up? And to be honest, the one that's really standing out to me is the lunchtime kickoff because it's Spurs against Liverpool.
Ooh.
Could be a cracker.
Yeah, it could be a cracker. It could be a disaster.
Yes.
For which team loses.
Well, based on Liverpool's inconsistency, I'm assuming they're going to win this 5-0. Oh no, not
lose
5-0.
5-0.
No, they won't get a clean sheet. 5-4? 5-3, 5-4, yes.
I don't know, if they've still got Harry Kane in the pocket, then...
Harry Kane in the pocket for Spurs, yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh.
What are we saying? Well, which way you going?
Spurs win, home win.
Spurs win, Rob?
0-0.
Nil.
So Rob's going with the draw. Do you know what? I'll go with Liverpool win, because why not?
Why not?
Who knows?
Okay.
Well, actually, it's a big team here, so Liverpool will probably turn up.
Oh, you think they'll turn up for this one?
Yeah. If it was I don't know, Watford away, they'd be losing, but because it's Spurs, you assume they're going to win.
I don't know, neither have looked good for completely different reasons.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens, and then we get into the 3 o'clock kickoffs. First one up was Chelsea against Burnley.
I know the score of this game.
2-1.
2-1.
There we go. Everybody happy? There we go. Chelsea win. So next up, Crystal Palace against Bournemouth.
Ooh, talk about two teams that need to win.
6-pointer already.
Now the next fixtures, next 4 fixtures on the list for me are the big games of the weekend. They're not the highest profile, but they'll be the true reflection of where these teams are at right now. So like Richard said, Crystal Palace and both need a win, and they've done pretty much nothing so far this season. So this would be the reflection of where they're currently at.
Yes.
For me.
Which way do you think it's going?
I think it'll go Palace's way because I've written Bournemouth off already.
You've written Bournemouth off already? Wowzers.
Funnily enough, I was going to say Bournemouth because of how they played at West Ham.
Oh, right. How do you think Benteke's going to do coming in?
Well,
do you think he's going to have a pouting debut where it's like, no one's passing the ball to me? Or do you think he'll have like an unbelievable start and it's like Townsend throwing crosses into him, Zaha throwing in crosses to him, he's constantly having power headers, his football erection gets bigger as the game goes on, his balls swelling with ego. That's how the human body works, Rob.
That's right, Richard.
Yeah.
We talked about this before because like Palace have wingers in their squad, but they don't have wingers who play like wingers.
Not everyone wants to cut in.
Everybody cuts in and has shots. Yeah. So I don't know where Benteke's going to get the service from. Maybe Wayne Hennessy with a long ball?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Long ball.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with Bournemouth. Who did you think were...
do you know what? I'm going to go positive and, I'm going to go for another home win, actually. I'm
there we
go.
go.
That guy. Constant home wins.
Next up, we have Everton at home to Stoke.
Tough one to call that.
Yeah, based purely off the start of the season, I'd maybe go with Everton to shade it.
I'm going to have my first pools prediction game. Score draw.
Score draw.
Snap. Score draw.
There we go. Marvellous. And now next up, we have Leicester City at home again to the Swans.
Rob?
For me, that's got home win written all over it.
The thing is, though, because it has home win written all over it, to me, that means it could be a away win. It's like one of those games where it's like, oh, it's so obvious, it must be. Oh, the other team's won.
It must surely be.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. They didn't... Did they look great against Hull? No, they got smashed and grabbed.
It all depends.
Burnley, they were kind of gifted a bit of a goal because it was a goalkeeping, but I don't know. Leicester will be wanting to get back in there. Yeah. I don't think they'll get hammered, but I think Leicester maybe go for a 1 or 2-0 or something like that.
I think Leicester probably picked up a bit of confidence after that draw against Arsenal. Found a bit of comfort zone, and they'll hit 1 or 2 past the Swans.
I'll be positive for the Swans. I'll go with a draw. And next up, we have Southampton at home to Sunderland, and everybody's going to assume home win.
It should be a home win.
Should be.
It.
Surely be.
And it will be, according to me.
You're going to go?
There we go.
Yeah, home win for me.
Yeah. But again, you've got 2 teams who are struggling to score goals.
Yeah, well, you look at it and you think that Southampton have got more about them to score a goal than Sunderland. But Sunderland never look like they're going to do anything and then always somehow manage to do something.
Well, we said this after the first game week when you've got Jermaine Defoe. Jermaine Defoe.
Anything can happen.
In your team, you can always win a game.
Also, Januzaj will be there now for more than 20 minutes, so maybe he'll come. So you'll go. What are you guys going for? Home win?
Yeah, home win for me.
Yeah,
Home win?
Home win.
Let's go around all home wins.
There we go.
Nathan Redman for Deuce.
And because we've all said home win, we can all now guarantee a Sunderland win.
Yeah.
So next up,
I'll be betting heavily on a Sunderland win.
yeah. And next up, we have Watford at home to Arsenal. Watford's tricky start to the season continues.
Yeah.
Away to Southampton, home to Chelsea, home to Arsenal. Tricky start for Walter Mazzarri.
Getting them all out of the way early.
Yes, but will they have another loss? Again, it's Arsenal, so who knows?
I can see a very similar game to the Chelsea game where they're in it, they're being really competitive, but then
they'll lose it by the end.
Yeah, they'll just have that moment where it'll not happen for them.
Yeah, well,
do you want to try and get a point, or are you going to keep watching EFL Cup goals as they come in? let's say this up. We're watching. We've got Sky Sports News on, and it's for the second round of the first night of fixtures in the EFL Cup. So I've already seen Swans score 3, which hasn't affected my decision about them losing to Leicester. Why? Because number 62 scored 2 of them, and of the 3 people, I don't know any of the names that they put up.
Who's number 62 for the Swans?
McBurney.
Is that a real name?
Is that a made-up name?
McBurney scored 1 and Justice scored the other. Which of the 2 did I make up?
McBurney sounds like a Pro Evo player.
Yeah.
One of the fake ones.
Yeah, so, a lot of these games that we're seeing results come in, it's like, Liverpool doing well against Burton Albion. It's like, bloody well should.
Yeah. Until Moreno or Mignolet does something wrong.
Oh, Chelsea have scored 3 in the first half against Bristol Rovers. Tides turned! Not really. Everton won up against Yeovil. Oh, here we go.
Back to the Premier League.
Yeah, sorry.
Next up, the 5:30 kickoff, and this is the big one. This is the top of the table clash.
It is, yeah.
Hull at home to Manchester United.
I'd love to see Hull go on a bit of a run after I slated them the first week.
I want Hull to win this.
Heart or head now, Ed?
Oh no, head says Man United.
Yes,
but I want Hull to win just because who would predict it?
Yeah, I'm going to give you my head as well and go Man United.
Yeah, Man United. That's sure that's your heart as well, though, Rich.
Yeah, both.
The thing is, though, you've got to try and look at it objectively. Hull have had a really good start. Confidence is high. They are limited to only playing the same team. So this team has got used to playing together, used to winning together. Abel Hernandez has 2 and 2. I don't think it's clear cut. I don't think Man United are going to go there.
But United have also picked the same team and have had the same team going into the last 2 games. And apart from Jesse Lingard, 3 games. We've also got a striker who's scored 3 goals in 4 games.
Oh, yeah, I'm not writing off Man United. I'm just I'm reminding people of the start that Hull have had.
No, he scored 4. No, how many he scored? He scored 2. He scored 3 and 2. He scored 4 and 3. Yeah, he scored 4 and 3.
You count in the Community Shield.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
In competitive fixtures.
I hope it'll be close. It'll probably be a Man United win, but I'd love to see Hull win.
Can I make a bet of 5-0 to United? Just going to put that out there.
It's fine. There we go. Rob being very decisive. And then we look at the Sunday fixtures, and the first one up, another glamour fixture. It's West Brom at home to Middlesbrough. Woo! I'm actually going to put my eggs in the Middlesbrough basket.
Do you know, I was fancying a way win for this one. I mean, I know there's let Pulis be Pulis, but I don't know. Borough, they've looked.
Well, this weekend's results could shape that result because West Brom have lost at home to Everton and Middlesbrough have won away to Sunderland. So,
and well, before that as well, Borough looked all right against Stoke. I mean, it was a home draw, but they
played well.
They played well. Yeah. They've shown something,
and they've got Diaman Negredo.
Yeah,
getting goals and assists.
Yeah.
So when he's in the team, who knows what can happen?
And I'm trying to think, who was West Brom's first game of the season?
First game was Palace.
And
they won 1-0.
1-0 away,
Rondon scored.
And then, home didn't really happen. No, let's go Borough getting
I'm going Borough.
Yeah, let's go Borough.
Away win. Rob?
I'll follow suit. I have no strong opinion in this game whatsoever.
I have no strong feelings one way or the other. Tell my wife hello.
And finally, the 4 p.m. kickoff on Sunday, the final game of the weekend, Man City at home to West Ham.
If it wasn't for the West Ham injuries, this would be a cracking tight game, I think. This would be flip a coin stuff. But
the injuries
without Carroll getting up in there, because Can you imagine Carroll going up against that defence and just causing them problems?
Oh, yeah.
You know, Payet doing what Payet does.
Yep.
But without that, and with the fact that Sergio Aguero is, as I said, at this point, an arc reactor of a footballer.
Molten hot.
Yes.
Yeah, so home win.
Yes, definitely.
Home win, but wouldn't be surprised maybe if there was a score draw in there.
Okay.
A hint of a score draw.
Well, which one are you going with? You got to pick. There's no fence sitting on this podcast.
I'll just say, before Rich gives his final result, after United beat Hull 5-0, Man City will be in top gear and will win that 4-0.
Oh, there we go. Okay, Rob with the score predictions.
Well, I'll go score draw then, just to...
Score draw, there we go.
No, home win.
Are you sure?
Home win.
Pick one.
Home win.
Do you
But there's no way of
Chris
putting
Tarrant impression? Is that your final answer? Is
Well,
that Brendan Rodgers?
Yeah.
Why is Brendan Rodgers...
Do your impression of Chris Tarrant, do the impression of Brendan Rodgers presenting Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
That's a great character. Would you like to phone a friend?
Yeah. I know. They should have a lot of bravery. That's the only thing I can do with Chris Tarrant. I can't do his voice, but I can do the...
So there we go. That's what we think is going to happen. And now we will finish the show as we always finish the show, and that's with the bets.
So I have a feeling that I've been stitched up somehow, because I feel I've won, but with the way that you two are looking at me, I've not.
Last week,
Yeah.
it was me and you.
Yeah.
Rob was engaged, but he is here this week.
Hi.
Hello.
So we decided to bet how many goals will be scored in the game between West Ham and Bournemouth.
Yeah.
After the previous season's 4-3 to Bournemouth. Mm-hmm. You went with 2.
Yeah.
And I went with 4.
So I was closest.
However, because Rob is part of this podcast, even when he's not here,
Yeah.
I phoned him on the Sunday morning.
I'm sorry, we have a WhatsApp group and you're having private phone calls.
I phoned him to get an instant answer because time was getting short before the kickoff. So I phoned Rob.
Give me a number!
I was on a very busy Pokemon hunt at the time. I have children, it's fine.
Yes.
They won't care.
So I phoned Rob a couple of hours before the West Ham match, and I said, I need your bet for the week. If Rob had said 2 goals, he would have drawn and you both would have got a point. Or if he said 0 goals, you both would have drawn, you would have got a point. I am out of this race because only 1 goal was scored. How many goals did Rob say?
Well, I'm assuming it's 1.
It was 1.
Yeah. Who would have thought it?
Rob said 1. So Rob wins
Yay,
the bet
what
this
do I win?
week. 3 points.
Points make prizes.
So now the table is me in first, Rob in second, both with 3 points. You are third.
Joint first, surely. We're both on 3, right?
I'm top because of alphabetical order. That's how the Premier League works.
But you both have a 1 next to you.
Yeah,
3 next
but
to
Rob
him.
is technically second.
Alright, I'm on an offside.
I can't bring goal difference into this. So there we go. Rob has won the bet. But now we will talk about next week's bet.
Okay.
And this is going to be a tricky one based off the predictions we've just made, because this previous week just gone, there was only 1-0. 2 clean sheets in the same game. The bet isn't how many 0-0s will there be. The bet is how many clean sheets will there be.
Oh God, let me have a look.
So look at those fixtures and make a call.
So I said Spurs 0-0. Is that 2 clean sheets?
2 clean sheets.
Okay.
So how?
Clarify the rules.
Yeah. Not how many 0-0 draws. How many clean
So
sheets?
the maximum you could have, of course, is 20 clean sheets. Making it the worst game week ever.
If there are 20 clean sheets, then we're not doing a podcast next week. So that is the bet. How many clean sheets? And Rob?
6.
We're going to go with you first, and you're going for 6.
Yes.
Okay, that's fine. Richard, we will go with you next. How many clean sheets?
Why have I got to go next? Why didn't you go next?
Because you came second in the thing last week, so you go next. I just made that rule up right down.
Rob has gone with 6. Are you going higher or are you going lower?
Higher. Nothing to prepare in this game.
I'll go higher then.
And your number is?
Yes.
Oh, I just had to say higher or lower.
No, you got to go.
Alright, I'll pick all the numbers that aren't 7. I'll go 8.
Oh. So Rob's gone with 6, Richard's gone with 8.
What should we go 7?
I'm actually going for the low bet.
Okay.
I've looked at the fixtures and I've gone for 3.
3. How many did I go for?
You can't change your mind.
No, wait, I am. What did I say?
it's in the bank.
No, wait, did I really say 8?
Yes.
Wait, what?
Rob said 6, you said 8, I'm saying 3.
Oh, God, what was I thinking? Wait.
So
what
what's
was
those? Is it closest without going over?
Oh, God, there's only 10 games. Oh, God. I completely thought this wrong. Oh, my God, what was I thinking?
Were you thinking of the Football League?
I don't know what I was thinking.
Those
I think I said I was looking at the game. I don't know why.
Don't forget, no, it's not just sort of 10 games, sort of possible 20 teams as well.
Oh, God. Yeah,
Those
no.
answers
So-
go in the bank as soon as you say them. Rob is stuck on 6, Richard is stuck on 8. I hope he's wrong, and I'm on 3.
Why did I go 5? 5 is an act. Oh, my God.
I actually said to you, do you want to go higher or lower? And you went, higher.
I don't, oh, my God.
He got excited, the pressure
I
was
did.
there.
I was all
It was a Bruce
distracted.
Forsyth impression that confused him.
I was watching the
So-
highlights of McBurney's goals. I was like,
Oh,
Oh,
they've been on.
McBurney, yeah.
they were on. Oh, I think the other guy was called Fulton.
All
Who
right.
scored for Swans?
He's Jay Fulton.
He's put the kids out,
Yeah.
basically.
I thought the kids
He
played
was number
last night.
50 and all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So there we
60.
go.
I've never seen someone over 60.
We have our bets in the bank for next week, and that is the show. So I will say, follow us on Twitter. Also, we are on SoundCloud. Get over there and have a listen. And we're on YouTube, so subscribe to us. And did you work on a new outro?
No.
So we'll just say goodbye then.
Yeah, we'll just say bye.
No, we gotta think of something like cool at some point. But cool,
rap.
doing something cool has never been our strong point.
Just everybody imagine us doing the Pardew dance. I tell you what, we'll do it.
I don't know the Pardew dance.
This doesn't really
Yeah.
work on a
I'm just going to
podcast.
say goodbye.
There we go. Oh, see, and with that lose it. I'm just gonna say goodbye. Door closes. Well, Rob's gone.
Car drives off.
Wait, we had other stuff.
So yeah, we will be back next week to review the show. Thank you for listening, and we will catch you next time.
Ta-da.
Bye.
Bye.